It's Ash from SuperVideos back for another video for The Last of Us on HBO. Today we're going to be diving deep into the latest scoop on Season 2 of The Last of Us. Remember how we dived deep into Season 1 with all of those exclusive behind-the-scenes content right here in Calgary where I am? Well, gear up because we've got some fresh updates on Season 2 and there's a lot to unpack. So stay tuned. We'll be right back to break it all down. Alright, as always, before we dive into it, smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. With that said, let's dive right into it. First up, big news on the filming location. Of course, as we've talked about in previous videos, Season 2 is taking a leap from Calgary and setting up camp in Vancouver, BC. And of course, that will be a replacement for Seattle. Of course, we know in part 2, Seattle was the main location. So they're going to go to Vancouver and film there as a way to replace the setting of Seattle from part 2 of the game. Now, while this means I might not be able to get as much exclusive content due to the location shift, rest assured, I'll do everything to bring you guys some juicy behind the scenes videos and photos, though they might not be as exclusive as last time. Plot-wise, we're in for a treat as well. As per the latest info, Season 2 is going to adapt content from The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. But guess what? Part 2's story is already so huge that this season will only cover about half of the game. So of course there's chatter about it stretching past one season and going into like a third or even fourth season for the HBO adaptation. Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey are of course returning as Joel and Ellie, but we don't know the extent of Pedro Pascal's involvement, obviously because of the story of part 2 of The Last of Us video game. And there's also buzz about new cast members, especially for the character of Abby Anderson. And of course, if they do the exact same thing from the game, there will be a lot of chatter and it might be one of the most epic things we've seen in TV for quite a long time. And by epic, I mean controversial and epic. Of course, the casting rumor for Abby Anderson is Caitlin Dever, and we did a separate video talking about that, so I'm not going to dive into it quite as much. Now, let's talk a little bit more about something that I mentioned earlier. As you guys know, I won't be playing The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, and going into this season blindly, and of course, going into this new season, it's going to be the first time I'm going to experience the content that they're going to bring from the remastered version, which I think is a good thing. Hear me out. Season 1 had its ups and downs with fans, myself included. So stepping into this without the game experience, I'm looking forward to seeing how it all unfolds without those preconceived notions and those expectations based on the source material. And of course, this helps more for part 2 because of the mixed reaction that part 2 of The Last of Us got amongst many fans in the gaming community, myself included. So it'll be interesting to see how my experience will be different going into it blindly for parts of it, of course, and to see how they're going to navigate these waters when it comes to appealing to fans of part 2, but also those that had problems with some of the story of part 2. And of course, depending on what the fan reception and reaction will be for the remastered content, it'll be interesting to see how they fit all of that in as well and how they balance it out in terms of appealing to the masses. But I'm definitely in for all of those surprise elements and deviations from the game that will keep us on the edge of our seats. So what do you think? Are you excited, skeptical, or somewhere in between? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more updates. I'll be keeping a close eye on all things related to Last of Us Part 2, especially with filming, which will begin in February. So stay tuned, especially if I find any sneaky behind-the-scenes stuff. But that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.